Hey guys, welcome back to our digestive system. But today we're going to be focusing mainly on chemical digestion. So remember that there are two types of digestion: mechanical digestion, which involves the teeth, and chemical digestion, which involve enzymes. What are enzymes? They are protein found in the body, and the function of the enzymes really is to speed up chemical reactions that takes place in the body. So we're going to be focusing on the enzymes in chemical digestion. So the other type of digestion that we're going to be looking at today is chemical digestion, which involves enzymes. Before I look at chemical digestion, there are certain things that I would like to point out. The first thing is that enzymes are specific, meaning that they only work on specific food. In other words, you will not have an enzyme breaking down protein and breaking down carbohydrate at the same time. No, they are specific. So those enzymes that break down protein only break down protein food. Those that break down starchy food only break down starchy food. Another thing is that whatever food or nutrients the enzyme break down or work on is called the substrate, and whatever is produced is called the product. So let us continue. So in the mouth, you'll find the enzyme amylase, and amylase break down starchy food into maltose. So starch would be the substrate and maltose would be the product. So that's in the mouth. In your stomach, you will have the enzymes renin and pepsin. Renin is mostly found in babies to help them digest the milk. And as they get older and adults, you'll find the enzyme pepsin. Pepsin break down protein into peptides. So you have protein breaking down into peptides. So protein is a substrate and peptides is the product. So don't forget 3 P's. In the stomach, you'll find the enzyme pepsin. It breaks down protein to peptides, right? As I mentioned in the last video on digestion, the liver and the pancreas. This is the liver, which is the largest organ in the body, and the pancreas, which is a leaf-like structure. You will notice that they're part of the digestive system because they help in digestion. So the liver, what it does, it produces bile, and the bile is secreted into the small intestine. And the function of the bile is to break down fats into tiny droplets. And that process is called emulsification. So the liver produces the bile. The bile is not an enzyme, but it helps in digestion. The pancreas, too, is also not an enzyme, but it helps in digestion by producing pancreatic juice, right? So it produces pancreatic juice, and the pancreatic juice go to the small intestine and continue on with the digestive process. So the pancreatic juice contains the pancreatic amylase. It also contains lipase and it contains trypsin. So those three enzymes are produced by the pancreatic. enzyme or by the pancreatic juice. So you have the amylase, pancreatic amylase, that is, that breaks down again starch into maltose. You have the trypsin, which breaks down protein into polypeptides. You have lipase that breaks down lipids or fat into fatty acids and glycerols. So the lipase is the enzyme, the lipid is the substrate, and the product is the fatty acid and the glycerol. The small intestine also secretes intestinal juices, which contains enzymes also. So you have the maltase, which is an enzyme which break down maltose to glucose. You also have sucrase that breaks down sucrose into glucose and fructose. You have lactase, which breaks down lactose into glucose and galactose. And you have the peptidase, which is the last one, that breaks down peptides into amino acids, right? So, what you need to remember, guys, is that the enzymes, they're found all over the body, and in this case they help to speed up the chemical digestion. I want you to note that enzymes, when you see a word end with ASE, they're usually, not all the time, they're usually enzymes, with the exception of pepsin and trypsin. So let me go again. In the mouth, you'll find the enzyme, what? Amylase. What type of food amylase work on? Starch. And it changes the starch into maltose. In the stomach, you will have renin and pepsin. The pepsin breaks down protein into peptides. You have the liver, which produces bile. Bile is not an enzyme, but it helps in digestion by breaking down fats into tiny droplets. This process is called emulsification. You also have the pancreas that helps in digestion by producing pancreatic juices. And in the pancreatic juice, you'll find the enzyme amylase, trypsin, and lipase. The pancreatic amylase breaks down starch into maltose. The trypsin breaks down the protein into peptides, and the lipase breaks down the lipids or fats into fatty acids and glycerols. The small intestine also secretes intestinal juice, which contain the enzyme maltase, which break down maltose to glucose, sucrase, which break down sucrose to glucose and fructose, lactase, which breaks down lactose to glucose and galactose, and peptidase, which breaks down peptides into amino acid. So that's it, guys, for chemical digestion, which involves the enzymes.